Bradley Walsh has always felt like someone people grew up with. A familiar smile, a reassuring voice, the kind of presence that makes television feel less like a screen and more like a shared space. For years, he has brought laughter into homes without effort, turning ordinary moments into something memorable. And that's exactly why no one was prepared for what happened next. It wasn't announced as a big moment. It wasn't teased or hyped. It simply arrived, softly. The setting looked familiar, but the feeling was different. There was a stillness in the air, a calm that didn't feel empty but full. Bradley stood there, relaxed yet thoughtful, as if he understood that this moment deserved care. He didn't rush his words. He didn't hide behind jokes. He allowed the silence to speak first. Viewers could sense it immediately. This wasn't about entertainment. This was about something deeper, something real. Bradley began to speak with warmth woven into every sentence. His voice was steady, gentle, and sincere. There was no sadness for show, no forced emotion, just honesty, the kind that doesn't need explanation. When he leaned in and spoke that quiet goodbye, it felt intimate, as though he was sharing a private thought, not delivering a line. It was the kind of goodbye that carries appreciation rather than regret. People at home felt it in their chests, because everyone knows that type of goodbye. The one you say when something mattered. The one you say when you're grateful, even if letting go isn't easy. There was something deeply romantic about how understated the moment was. Romance not in grand gestures or dramatic expressions, but in respect, in the way he honored shared time, in the way he allowed emotion to exist without trying to control it. Bradley's smile appeared briefly, not playful, not exaggerated, just warm, familiar, comforting, a reminder of the humor people have loved for years, gently reminding everyone that warmth and emotion can exist together. That balance is what makes him special. He spoke about gratitude, about journeys that shape you without you realizing it at the time, about how moments often become meaningful only when you pause long enough to notice them. His words felt lived in, natural, like something he had carried quietly and finally decided to release. Viewers noticed the small details, the pauses between sentences, the way he looked around as if taking one last mental snapshot, the calm in his posture. Nothing felt rushed, nothing felt performative. And then he stepped back. The room stayed quiet, not out of discomfort, but respect. Applause felt unnecessary in that instant. The silence itself felt like acknowledgement. When Bradley turned to walk away, it wasn't dramatic. It was calm, confident, graceful. He didn't linger and he didn't rush. He simply moved forward. That walk-away stayed with people. Fans later said it felt like watching someone close a chapter properly. No loose ends, no bitterness, just acceptance. Across social media, reactions poured in. People admitted they hadn't expected to feel emotional. Some said they smiled softly through the moment. Others said they sat quietly afterward, thinking about their own experiences. Because the moment connected in a universal way. It reminded people of leaving a place they loved, of finishing a job that shaped them, of saying goodbye to a routine, a chapter, a version of themselves. What made it even more powerful was that Bradley didn't frame the goodbye as a loss. He framed it as appreciation, as proof that something meaningful had existed, and that alone was worth honoring. There was humor hidden beneath the emotion, not in jokes, but in familiarity, in the way he carried himself, in that unmistakable Bradley Walsh warmth that reassured viewers without saying a word. Fans joked afterward that only Bradley Walsh could make a room full of people emotional without raising his voice or making a spectacle. Others said it was refreshing to see television slow down for once, because that's what this moment did. It slowed everything down. In a world of constant noise, it offered quiet. In a world of exaggerated emotion, it offered sincerity, and that's why it resonated. Bradley showed that strength doesn't always look bold. Sometimes it looks softness. Sometimes it looks knowing when to speak and when to simply be present. He showed that goodbyes don't have to hurt to matter. They can be gentle, they can be kind, they can leave you with warmth instead of emptiness. The romantic quality of the moment came from its care, from the way nothing felt forced, from the way it trusted the audience to feel without being told what to feel. That trust is rare, and viewers noticed. As the moment ended, people were left with a quiet ache, not heartbreak, but something softer. The feeling you get when a good story ends exactly where it should, when you close a book slowly, not because you're sad it's over, but because you're grateful you read it. That's the feeling Bradley left behind, a reminder that connection matters, that sincerity lasts longer than spectacle, that genuine emotion doesn't need volume to be powerful, and that's why fans couldn't stop talking about it. If this moment stayed with you, if it reminded you of a goodbye that shaped your own life, take a moment to share your thoughts. Join others who felt the same warmth, reflection, and quiet appreciation, and keep celebrating the rare television moments that remind us why authenticity still matters.